Welcome to the weekly meeting of the Healing Cooperative. Very excited to have Deenah Mollin and Tracy Latz here for our speaking engagement tonight. And they are going to be presenting phototherapy. Very excited to learn all about that. So now, Deenah and Tracy, you have the floor.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Tracy, did you want to say thank you before we begin? I know we're both so grateful to be here.
Oh, thank you, Susan. This is
that's
nice to get together with everybody.
Yeah, it's great. And thanks everyone for coming. So such a wonderful group of people. I always feel so comfortable here with like-minded seekers, healers, and just people who are open to learning and growing together. So I'm starting out because I'm the interviewer tonight. Tracy's the doctor in the house. She'll be explaining the science behind this. I'll be explaining the excitement that I'm feeling with it. And we wanted to talk to you about it's actually about a company called LifeWave that's created nanotechnology through a lot of scientific research and study. Nanotechnology in the form of small patches that are wearable patches. They're non-transdermal in the sense they have no medication, or that no medication that goes into the body. There are no drugs at all involved. And basically it's a form of these little patches have captured the essence of light frequency, which goes into our body, and then our bodies respond with the healing process as it begins. I sort of see it as a synergistic back and forth between the patch and our body. And it started with, well, actually, I'm going to let Tracy tell you more about all the different patches, but the exciting one that we are really starting with is related to stem cell technology and the way that we've been able to, or LifeWave has been able to create stem cell therapy that actually activates stem cells in the body. Hi, cute little Serena's daughter. Welcome. Anyway, I'm going to start just by saying that I am an energy healer, and I work with my intuition as well. I do a lot of work from the heart. It took me a long time to understand why every time I was working on someone, my heart actually ached, until I started to understand that our heart is a thinking, feeling part of our body that can actually work with our brain to affect energy, to move energy. And it's really been a blessing to have this ability, and I'm really delighted to be able to share it both by teaching and working on others and with others. And I'm just looking at all my friends here, Dawn and Penny and Patrick, and my sister, so nice, and Mitzi. Thanks guys for coming, and I hope that you enjoy our presentation. So I'll just tell you briefly that the way I came upon LifeWave products is, I have a close friend named Colette Barron-Reed. Some of you might have heard of her. She's an author, speaker, Oracle expert, TV host, and she's always looking good. We've known each other for about 25 years, but one day, now that we don't see each other in person because of COVID, and at the moment she lives out of town, she called me one day on FaceTime, and I looked at her and just said, "What have you been doing? You look fabulous. You look like 10 years younger than you did last time I talked to you." And she said, "Oh, really?" Because she's a funny personality. She said, "Well, I've been using these patches, LifeWave patches." And I said, "What are they?" And she started to tell me. And I have to admit, my first reaction was, this sounds a lot like multi-level marketing. It sounded too much like a sales pitch to me. And she went, "Well, I did buy it from a distributor, but that's the only way you can get them, and they're absolutely fabulous." And I said, "Okay, sign me up." Oh, no kidding. And she went, wait, maybe you want to wait and find out." I said, "No, you look incredible. I'll learn about it as I go." So I know that's very superficial, falling in love with a product because it's going to make you look so much younger. But honestly, there was a little conversation in between about how amazing she felt. And that was showing from the inside out. And as soon as I started to read about, I went online and I started to read about the technology, the nanotechnology, how it had come to pass, what it could do for you. I was completely fascinated. And to be very honest, and this is very personal, but I'd been on hormone therapy and I wanted to get off it. But why was I on it? Because I wanted to feel more energetic. I didn't want to be, I wanted more clarity of thought. And once I stopped taking it, I felt the effects almost immediately. So I was looking for something natural to replace that, something beyond my Reiki and working on myself. I felt like I was slipping away. And as soon as I started using the X39 patches, it was like a life changer. I'm not kidding you. I felt so much better. Actually, Penny did a channeling with me. And in my channeling very early on, she said, okay, she said, so what do you see? What are you feeling? And I said, I feel like I'm running up to this person that we were talking about. And she said, and what are you saying? And I said, I'm telling him that I've just discovered LifeWave and I feel amazing. It was so weird, but it was almost like a message that this is something I really had to pursue. Anyway, I know it all sounds a bit too unbelievable, but it really is true. And when Tracy explains to you the science behind this, and Mitzi's here to pipe in anytime she wants, I think you'll understand that there really is something very special about this form of phototherapy. And what made me comfortable with it, besides the fact that there were absolutely no drugs and no side effects, is that I already understand the vibration of energy and how it works through the body. I can feel it myself when I'm working on people, and I can see the effects that we have both in person and from a distance. But now when I work on someone and they go away, I have no way to follow them. And this is something Tracy and I talked about. You work with someone, they feel much better, but what happens when they go home? What happens when they're feeling down, when their energy is low, or when they're in a lot of pain and they need more? And it wasn't a fortunate, spontaneous healing. Yes, we've experienced those, and that's wonderful. And that might happen when it's meant to happen. But in the meanwhile, people can use the boost, they can use the help, whether it's pain relief or, something to make them feel more vibrant, more energetic, and all of that's happening thanks to LifeWave for me. So I really wanted to share. And Tracy, take it away, Dr. Tracy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Tracy Latz. I'm an integrative psychiatrist. I started out as a cell biologist, undergrad at Wake Forest University, then went to graduate school at Georgetown in DC. So kudos to my friend who's working in DC, who's on this call. Then worked there doing immunobiology and immunoparasitology, met the man I ended up marrying. So instead of getting my PhD, I wrote up my work, got a master's degree, worked for a year doing cancer research, and then went to medical school and was shocked when I loved psychiatry, and then realized I was doing that because it's the closest you can get to someone's soul in Western medicine. So it sort of took me all through mind, body, spirit. And the spirit really got keyed up more when I had a lot of intuitive hits and had a very unusual experience with the patient who was very suicidal, and ended up through a series of events going to an ancient mystery school and was trained as an intuitive healer, taking that deeper, and then studied Qigong, studied Reiki, did medical Qigong. I tied together all sorts of things. So I have a private practice 2 days a week as an integrative psychiatrist, where I really do bring in all of this, including LifeWave, these phototherapy patches into it. And then 3 days a week right now, for the past 6 years, I've been working at a state psychiatric hospital. Worked for 3.5 years with deaf patients, and then worked 1.5 years with adolescents, and then with forensics. Now I'm working on the very intense behavioral unit with very violent, very self-injurious patients. And I end up with a lot of staff who end up getting injured from trying to help calm these patients that are attacking people, sometimes staff. So I do tie in everything, and came across these patches, which I was fascinated by because it brings everything together, from cell biology to metaphysical color and sound healing, Reiki, also having studied acupuncture energy meridians when I was training in Qigong with 2 different medical Qigong practitioners. So the beauty of these patches is they do not have medicine in them. They are not transdermal. They actually capture the light from our own skin or our own bodies emanating out in that infrared light, and it captures them. And each different patch has different crystalline, essentially crystals with a few amino acids embedded in them. So you don't even have to have them directly on the skin. They could be on a t-shirt or a shirt and within a certain distance from the skin. But it captures that light, shifts the frequency of it, and bounces it back into the body. And there are different acupuncture points or areas that some of the patches are quite good when you put them on those areas. And some of them, for the folks here who have studied chakras, you know, I love like Aeon patch, because that I use in my private practice quite a bit because it helps with anxiety and calming. And you put it, it makes sense if you're studying chakras or those energy centers, below the belly button, around that second chakra where the inner child or the emotional one is, and it calms. I have had some patients that have been on benzodiazepines or Xanax for panic attacks and have given them one and just said, try it when they're stressed. And they come back and say, I'm using this now instead of a benzodiazepine because I don't feel drugged and I feel better. So that's the beauty of it. I have one on just about every single day. I'd always, since the whole COVID-y thing hit, certainly, I have a glutathione patch on, which is interesting because you put it on, and I wear it over my thymus, and I have a pendant I usually wear so that my schizophrenic patients who would maybe get a little weirded out by a patch being on me, I just put it here, and I have my pendant that I always wear over it. And it supports the immune system and has been shown to really assist with our own body's glutathione level being boosted, which helps support your immune system and allow you to better utilize an immune defense against something. So I love that. It also helps balance hormones, and who doesn't need that? I'm 59 and I'm on them hormones and I haven't killed anybody yet. But when I'm post-call at the hospital, I use the energy enhancer because it can wake me up when I'm really tired. I put it on kidney point 1 or on the bottom of the feet, the soles of the feet. But I love the X39, which is what Deenah was talking about. X39 will decrease inflammation in the whole body, but it also stimulates copper peptides within the epidermal system and the cells of the body to help the stem cells that are in the lower epidermal layer of all of our body. And why is that important? Because when we're born, we have a lot of active stem cells, but the older we get, the fewer stem cells and the less active they are. So that's why we tend to start aging, and we tend to take longer to repair when we have a wound or an injury. So if you can stimulate and activate your own stem cells to become more vibrant and divide, then you will have better recovery when you have an injury, which is why I love it for a lot of my staff at the hospital when they're injured, or when someone has a cut or a surgical repair going on, to more rapidly heal. And there's white papers, the research papers on these to back up all of this. It also seems to help the brain function better in terms of reaction time, gets quicker. You just have whole body decrease in inflammation. And we know now that everything from depression and anxiety to Parkinson's to all of the autoimmune issues and all of the gut issues that so many people have, all really have to do with inflammation. So the beauty of that X39 is once you wear it, and use it for about 3 months. I found most people, and the studies seem to show that a lot of times people aren't needing a lot of the other patches because they are more vibrant, they have more strength and vitality and resilience, and they report being younger or feeling younger. And that's where Deenah was saying her friend suddenly was looking younger. I am 59, I don't dye my hair, haha, and my hair is not gray, so I love that. I do have a friend who wears at Marion, who we teach a lot together, everything from Mentora art classes to letting go of grief and suffering and anger classes around the world. And she has worn it, and her hair is getting thicker, and her hair is less gray. So, you know, we have a lot of fun with this. It's just sometimes playing with these things are fun. There are patches that help that my daughter uses. She used to have to use Ambien for sleep, and she uses Silent Night, so she doesn't need to take a medicine. There's a Nirvana patch, which I've recommended to a number of my patients who are open to it. It helps lift mood and has helped with some of my patients with depression. And I just love it. I'm going to let Deenah talk a little bit now.
Oh, thanks, Tracy. No, that was very helpful. I appreciate it. I'm just going to quickly show this if I can share. Host disabled participant share screening. Oh, Susan, can you allow me to share this? I can't hear you.
You should have the ability to share your screen because I've allowed participants to share screen. So
it just says, I'm not allowed. Well, it's okay. It says host disabled participant. Do you want to just check for 1 second?
Yeah, it says over here that allow participants to share screen. Check now again.
Okay.
Is it working?
Let's just see. Yep.
Okay.
And now I know there's share sound. Okay, we'll just look at this quickly if we can. Hold on a second.
And I can see the handle of the drawer.
That's not it. We don't know who she is. Hold on a sec. Uh-oh. Hang on.
LifeWave's X39. This is a patch that activates your stem cells to a younger, healthier state to give you a whole new level of vitality. The patch works by using phototherapy to elevate a peptide in the body that normally declines with age. The benefits are numerous. The X39 patch will improve your energy and sleep, reduce your pain, smooth out the appearance of lines and wrinkles in your skin, and support faster wound healing, just to name a few. And the best part? X39 works no matter where you place it on your body. Our studies were based on 2 locations. The first one is at the base of your neck, as you see here. The other location is just below the belly button, as shown here. But remember, you really can place it anywhere. Be sure to apply the patch to clean, dry skin in the morning. You can wear the X39 patch for up to 12 hours. Stay well hydrated while you're using it. LifeWave's X39. You have to experience it to believe it.
Well, that might not exactly have been what I wanted to show you, but it's fine. And let's cancel this now. Hang on a second. Stop sharing. Sorry about that. Anyway, the idea being, hold on, guys.
You're here.
Help!
You're good.
I don't think oh no, I lost you guys. Hold on a second.
You're still here.
Yeah,
we
I
can
see.
you.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
So I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about X39 from my perspective. Thanks so much, Tracy, for all the science behind it. So I've had quite a few people in my life, particularly lately, who are suffering from addiction. And, you know, I don't know, it seems to be a greater problem than ever. And I found out through one of my friends being willing to give this a try. So I had a friend who had serious addiction to alcohol, and I'll just say they were also feeling very stressed from work, also working in person in a medical environment. And so they just said, you know, I feel like I'm too stressed. I can't really think straight anymore. It's all caving in on me, and I'm drinking more than ever. So I said, well, I don't know what we can do for the drinking, but this is definitely going to give you a little more stamina and maybe help you with the relaxation. So I suggested X39 and Eon. So they didn't even start with the Eon, which is really the one that's supposed to be to help us calm our nerves, and did start taking the X39 every day. And 10 days later, this person called me giggling. And I went, oh, you've obviously started using the patches. And then it was like, yes. And I have to say, I haven't been drinking at all. Well, one glass at Christmas, one glass of wine. I'm going to the gym again. I go to work, I come home, I still have tons of energy. I don't know what this is doing to me, but I feel amazing. And so I was pretty excited about that, and then able to share that with a couple of other people who were also suffering. And when I told them about this, they confided in me that they had issues and started on X39 as well. What a blessing, though, to be able to have clarity, have stamina, and feel revitalized. So often we hear, you know, if you have your health, as long as you have your health, then everything else is good. But having your health and really feeling vibrant with your health and with your life are two very different things. A lot of us are just used to trudging through, dealing with this, you know, having the burden of stress on our shoulders. It works through our body, holding on to all these emotional blockages. I'm not saying that X39 or any other patch alone is going to do that, but it gives you some clarity, some hope, some sort of a little skip in your step so that you can take those next steps. And I think that's really a beautiful gift, and a lot of people are enjoying it for that reason. So Tracy, I'll send it over to you again if there's anything else you wanted to mention.
Okay. Someone has asked, Patrick asked, why is it necessary to stay well hydrated? Well, you're working with energy, and most of the people on this call are energetic workers in some fashion, with whether it's Reiki or holistic healing or working with color and sound. When you are moving energy, it's important for the energy to flow. When we are wood and solid stone and not hydrated, you know, the energy doesn't flow. This is why when an electrical storm comes, we all run away from the pool and the water, because the electricity wants to go right through that water and move. So when you hydrate the body and you're working with this light therapy, the phototherapy, you want the energy to be bounced, shifted, and then move through the body, through those energy meridians to release any blocks. And if you're doing that without hydrating, you'll just find it's sluggish. It's hard to move any energy. So whenever you're meditating and doing any Qigong practice or your own healing work, or you're working with a client, get them to hydrate. You also hydrate. You will be a much more flowing channel of energy, and the energy will flow better through your clients. So always hydrate. My kids have learned to say hydrate or dihydrate.
That's great. So I'm just seeing that we covered. Yeah, so other than that, would anyone like to ask us any questions, or Mitzi? Mitzi, did you want to ask something?
You know, I'm going to hold off on the question for just a second. If you guys are done with your presentation, I'll stop the recording now, and then we can move into our question and answer. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to share, Deenah and Tracy? Maybe about where people can go to get this patch if they would like to get this patch and try it?
Sure. Yeah, that's a great idea. And so you can go to either of our sites. Tracy, did you put we'll have everything for you, I guess, at the end when you post our YouTube. But Tracy, did you want to just put your information down at the bottom there as well?
For me, lifewave.com/LNIP is where you can order, but also Deenah has another site.
Yeah.
Lifewave.com/ what is yours?
Deenah.
Deenah.
Made it easy.
There you go.
And you'll tell us a little bit in the question and answer, you'll tell us a little bit about how to purchase them, which ones to purchase, whether you purchase them one at a time, and so forth. Excellent.
Yeah.
So I'm going to stop the recording then here. Thank you so much, Deenah and Tracy, for presenting LifeWave to us. Fascinating product that works with the science of phototherapy. And I look forward to trying the product.
Yeah, I think it'll be great.
Yeah, thank you.
I know you'll love it.